Redbeard here. Look, man, I need to get that new shop done. I am running out of room. Anyway, I got the Ram Charger set back down on its old chassis. Got waffles brought back in. Got tires put on that rear axle assembly, that Scat Pack rear axle. Interesting enough, um, it's narrower than the factory Ram Charger truck width now. So I believe a lot of that has to do with the tire offset. I'm not opposed to running some spacers if I need to, but we're going to get that track width right. Not too worried about it being a touch narrow. We can work with that a little bit easier than being wide. Everything's still going to work. I took a bunch of measurements today. I took some yesterday too. And best I can tell, I think we're going to get down about 7 to 8 inches on ride height over factory. Will be kind of our low point. So that's what I'm going to build to, and we'll play with shocks and coils to get that ride height where we want it. There ain't a lot of travel to this setup, so it is kind of what it is. Anyway, I'll give you all a little tour. I have drawn up a chassis design, and I weighed out several options. I was pretty convinced I was going to do like a section frame, and I'm just going to bend it. I'm just going to do solid runners whole way. So, due to the bender I'm running, the quality of the dies, and how it reacts, I'm going to go with 1.5 inch 120 watt DOM. I'm going to call and check pricing on that. Get that ordered up tomorrow, and so I'm going to need 6 sticks to build this. I probably need a little bit more. I'll probably pick up 7 just to have some extra. I debated going on the 1.75 inch, but with the bends I'm trying to pull off and everything, 1.75 inch just gets really. I need a bigger die, and once I go to a bigger die, I can't do the contours I want to do to keep everything uniform looking. So anyway, I believe that like a triple rail, be 2 uppers and it'd be like a lower, an upper, and an outer. And once they're all triangulated in, braced every well, at least a foot, maybe tighter than that, maybe 9 inches. But once they're all braced, I don't foresee there being any twist or flex or that being an issue. Not building this thing to roll it off a cliff or anything. So just to not twist going down the line is what I want. I think this is going to work for that, and I should be able to get some cross bracing in. Anyway, guys, let me give you a little walk around. I'll kind of give you a kind of lay out how I'm doing this. Well, I'll show you the video first, and then once we get done with that, we'll go take a look at that, how I'm going to bring that rear. Now I'm going to come over the front and rear subframes. That poses a little bit of challenge. It is going to be kind of interesting how I'm going to make my mounts for that, but not real worried about it. It's going to work out. Like I always put and stress about too much stuff too early in the build, and so I'm trying to just get going, and we'll take care of it as it arises. So anyway, let me pause this and we'll look at some more stuff. All right, guys. So if you're not familiar with it, a lot of you probably are. This is the Bentech software. There's probably other software out there. I'm just comfortable. This is what I'm always using. So I feel pretty good about this. But let's get some views of this here. Just go top. Anyway, this is a fairly dated version. I think it's been updating, but I got this with the bender. I got it off my buddy Matt Russo truck. But anyway, here's our like an overview of the chassis, the frame rails. I'm not going to design any of the cross bracing in to tie the rails together until we get further along. So as we build, of course, I'll add some just kind of like place setters, heavy tacked to hold everything in place till we get all the drivetrain mounted, fuel tank, air tank, stuff like that. Once we start getting all that fitted in here, then I can start adding my bracing in and tying the frame rails together a little bit better. But for now, I think we're going to be okay. So let me do this. It's kind of a cool view. This is the front. This is looking head on at the 2 frame rails and how they're bent up. And it's kind of an interesting view there. This is down the side. So this would be looking at it from a profile. And I tried to contour these bends here to where, we would be flat from the side. I didn't want to maintain at least 3 inches in between the tubes. So I'm running 4.5 inch on center. So that's 4.5 between the center line of the top and bottom, and then 4.5 on the outer. So triangulated, I'll have like 3 inches spread in the lower from the lower in the upper, and the upper in the outer. But then there'll probably be like, I don't know, roughly 5 inches, maybe a hair over for the laterals tying the lower rail to the outer rail. But once that's all done, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. So let's look. Yeah, so the front and the back profiles, all they really do is tell you if everything's lined up. It's kind of hard to read. But let's go back to we'll go to a lower. We'll look up from the bottom. So that'll be looking up from the bottom. So this will be our outrigger out here, the outer rail, and then this here and this here will be the ones that are stacked. And I'll show you why they're designed like they are. I took a bunch of, it's pretty crude, guys. But I left plenty of overhang on the front and rear so I can play with the track width. This is going to be the center line of the rear axle. I've got a 106-inch wheelbase to play with, and I will build this chassis next to the other chassis, so we'll get it all straightened out. Now, again, not real worried about that because I did run both ends long, knowing that it'd be easier to build it and then trim it up in the end. Sorry about the air compressor, guys. But I'm pretty happy with where we're at. We'll do a little... Yeah, things get weird when you go to the contours. Anyway, I just double-check all my... I double-check everything on that. But you can see here how they're going to be stacked. And... like I said, I'm a big fan of relying on the bend radiuses and the bend directions for a lot of what I do here. So let me stop this, but this is the Bendtech software. I've got this all saved, SUV 10 chassis, and I haven't fired this computer up since last year this time. Pretty happy it came up. Dude, I got a Dell. Anyway, let's move over here. So anyway, guys, this is that front subframe here, and basically this bolt and this bolt are what's going to hold everything in. So I'm running the inside of my 30-inch is going to go right in underneath the motor mount on each side, and then the outer be 4.5 inches out. And if I did it right, I should be able to build a bracket in to catch those bolts and tie this whole subframe into the structure pretty good. And I think, going by the measurements and the material I'm using, I think it's going to work out pretty good. Checked out, I redid the measurements and the math a couple times. That's kind of where I'm at. So I am going to have to build my own coil towers, strut towers, whatever you want to call them. I guess strut towers. And I'll probably do like a multi-adjustable setup and mount some factory upper A-arms directly off of that. So really weird setup. I've never messed with anything with dual ball joints at the bottom on the steering knuckle. That was kind of trippy. But anyway, it's going to work. And this is the rear assembly. We did get the rims up on there. There's a Ram Charger. There's that old girl hanging out. Anyway, so this is the rear assembly, and of course it's not going to cooperate with me. But what I'm doing, you see the mounts. There's 4 mounts for this subframe. What I've done, they're 24-inch from each other. Measured the center line of everything. Basically, those frame rails are going to cross over and contour this bend, so it'll be out of the way of the control arms and everything. My inner bar will be 4.5 inches in, so it's going to be up in here, and so that is going to be a little bit of a concern. I'm going to have to remount the shocks, but I got to get a chassis in here somehow, so that's kind of what I'm looking at. But anyway, that's what I'm working on. That's going to be the kind of the contours. And, yeah, anyway. Hopefully I'll have some tube, and I think I got some time coming up here in another week or so. where I may actually get quite a bit of this bin up. So anyway, guys, that's the goal. Hope you're enjoying this. This is probably one of my more informative videos. But anyway, we'll catch you later.